What's going on today, guys? Welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we're going to be talking about a game I have a love-hate relationship with. I've been playing it for probably the past year and a half. Really trying to get better, and it just drives me absolutely crazy. So we're talking about Rocket League today. We're going to talk about the ranking system, a few things that are frustrating the hell out of me in this game, and I'll get into more in detail in each one of those. Let's hop right into it and see if the same things frustrating me are frustrating you and getting better at this game. So let's hop into it. Alright guys, let's hop into this. So, the first thing that drives me crazy about this game is that there is such a big gap between skill levels, especially as you start to push the higher ranks of this game. If you're in gold, there's not a big difference between gold and silver, I think, mechanically or game sense wise, which is two massive parts of this game, as it is when you start to I would say platinum. Once you start getting to platinum and you start to push, platinum 1, 2, 3 to diamond, I noticed that the skill gap gets tremendously bigger in between each one, and you need to improve your skill sets in game sense and mechanics in order to get better about this game. Not only that, but there's so many different things that you need to learn. A lot of people would just be like, oh, it's just cards with soccer and you got to put it in the goal. Well, let me tell you something. It is not that easy, and if you think it is that easy, you have not played Rocket League for any crazy amount of time trying to be competitive. And this game's skill gap is probably the biggest I've ever seen in any single game I play. First person shooters, racing games, or anything like that, this game is by far has a massive skill gap from the very lowest player to the very highest player, and it's absolutely insane. As you start to push these ranks, you start to realize you need a lot of things to make yourself better and enable yourself to push to the next rank. Last season, I was actually Diamond 3, like Division 3, Division 4, right in there trying to really push for Champ, which I have not broken yet, which is absolutely frustrating because I've been trying for so long. And I got to probably change some things up in order to get better at that part in order to push me to that next rank. After some problems in the following season, we just started season 7, I just finished ranking. I end up in Diamond 1, 2 divisions lower than what I was before. This could be my fault. A little bit of bad luck with some teammates that I had this week trying to get ranked. Could be, good players that I'm playing against. Just so many different things take into effect, but to drop 2 ranks is absolutely frustrating because now it's going to take me 10 to 20 games to get back up just to where I was, let alone to see if I'm going to push into champ this season. It drives me crazy. You have to work so hard in order to get so little in this game as you get to the higher ranks. And some of these things that create the learning curve we're going to talk about, and that's what I'm going to hit on. And the first one we're going to talk about is settings. The settings for this game, you're just like, oh, you hit the gas, you have boost, and you have jump, and that's it. Wrong again. This game has a lot of different controls and a lot of different things that you need to set up in order to be successful at the game. If you look, there is a massive amount of information out there on settings. Camera settings, controller settings, pro settings, what you should run, what you shouldn't run, how do you do this, how do you do that, and you can never ever just take one and get better at it, or know which one works for you. And that is a massive problem. So you have to spend hours dedicating to figure out how to set up your buttons of how you like them in order to do what you wanted to do. And then you could be climbing the ranks and realize this is not the best setup for me to push into champ, and then you have to reset your settings and you have to retrain your brain in order to hit those buttons without thinking about it. And this is where my frustration builds, because there's not a one size fits all type of setting on the game, which I understand everybody's different, but this alone you need to understand that's going to take massive amount of time, and you have to reset it 2 or 3 times before you actually get it into the higher ranks where it fits you. And I can tell you from personal experience, every time I reset my settings, I usually drop 1 full rank inside any kind of competitive playlist, because there's a learning curves of learning the buttons and memorizing the buttons. It's just absolutely insane. Then when you get to the next problem here, it's just absolutely frustrating, is that MMR. Rocket League's probably got one of the best MMR systems I've ever seen. When it comes to pairing you match by match, they use a point system, which you can see with Bacchus mod, which will show you the rank of the player in the MMR. And not only that, but it'll show you how many plus or minuses per match, depending on if you win or lose, you increase. And at certain thresholds, it pushes you to the next rank, and it's used literally by games. And what we have seen happen with MMR is that we will be playing and we'll go on a 3 to 4 to 5 game win streak, because we're in the middle of, let's just say Diamond 2, and we're just starting with Division 1, and our skill set are ranked Diamond 3, and we just start to run through teams. We get like 3, 4, 5 games in, and we get a good win streak. We're feeling good, and then it decides, okay, you're getting close to Diamond 3. We're going to play you against high Diamond 3 players, let alone might even get a champ in there every once in a while, and see how you do. And instantly, we notice that we start to get slapped around. We start to notice a massive skill difference. It could be a game sense. It could be them playing in certain positions. It could be them taking the ball and dribbling it off the wall into the goal, to ceiling shots, to double taps. Wide variety of what we have not seen before or not experienced a lot before, we start to notice. And this is where we start to get frustrated, because you get so close and then the game just comes back and backhands you and says, nope, get back in your place and go down a couple ranks before you actually get to push to the next one. And this is another problem you run into, because you start to push these higher ranks and you see that there is a skill difference in games. The first thing that you notice is game sense. You start to notice as you move up the rank, the gameplay gets faster but yet slower. It's not full boost all the time around the map. It's more about being precise with your controls, using your boost when you need to do wave dash, wall dash, when to go up for the ball, when to attack at the high point, when to actually double commit, when you shouldn't double commit, when you should be taking a shot. A lot of that stuff is all through game time, and as you start to push these higher ranks, their game sense is just better. And the hard part about training game sense is that you have to have gameplay in order to get better, and you don't get that unless you're playing in those ranks. So it takes you a while to start to understand the game ranks. You got to get backhanded a couple times, go down in ranks before you start to really understand what they're doing in the game that makes them better than you are, and you have to try to adapt and play better. And this is why you have to have a partner, in my opinion, because if you just solo queue, you can't. It's harder to communicate, it's harder to feel each other out when they're playing, and all these other issues that are kind of going in, and it's just absolutely insane. So game sense, I wish there's a way to train this, but other than just playing consistently and getting to those higher ranks, you really don't understand the game sense until you're in those situations. So I would definitely recommend recording your gameplay so you can go back and watch the difference between you and that opponent that just absolutely destroyed you as you're trying to push to the next rank when you really thought you were ready to go. You can definitely see a massive skill difference, and you'll see exactly what you need to see. And that brings us to the next thing, is mechanics. Man, the amount of mechanics in this game is absolutely insane, and the amount of hours you have to put in order to train it is another massive problem that I hate this game for. Yet I still decide to play it because I want to get better. It's probably one of the most competitive games I've played and I take seriously. So mechanics is something that you notice a massive skill gap in between each and every rank. There's always a new mechanic that you need to master in order to push that newer rank, especially when you start to push up past platinum. If you can't learn how to dribble the ball, air roll shot, shooting shots in air, flying, wall dribbles, or air dribbles, double taps, passing, ceiling shots, as you start to climb the ranks and understand how to do them, but not only how to do them, but take the game sense of when you need to do it and how to do it and then make it happen, is just, it's so hard to put together, and it takes so many hours. There is hundreds of training packs out there to help you with this stuff, but you got to dedicate the time to do that. So on one hand, game sense you don't get unless you play in game actually against higher ranked players, and then mechanics you don't have unless you train them in and out consistently. And then after you've done both of those, understand game sense, you understand mechanics, you then have to be able to put those two together in order to get to the next level of, okay, I understand when I need to take this shot, and then when I need to take the shot, do I know how to take the shot, and then can I actually do it successfully in game with pressures and everything that's really going on. So to tie it all together is just super frustrating when you start to hit walls and pushing to the next rank. But you got to make sure you have a good regimen of training and then a good balance of playing actual competitive games and setting lose caps and win caps on how many games you're going to play in order to maximize how many levels you can grow or gain in a single session, or protect yourself from dropping too long when you're playing just a really bad day in it. You don't want, my rule of thumb normally is I'll get on, and if I lose 3 games, I'm done. And if we go on a win streak and we lose one, win streak, lose one, win streak, lose one, I usually will end my thing there, just because due to the fact that I want to make sure that the max amount of points I'm giving, I don't lose those, because if I start to get frustrated and start to keep trying to keep play, I'll just keep losing and get more frustrated, and it goes in a downward spiral, which is never good for anybody. But these are all things in this game that just make it so damn difficult, and it drives me absolutely bonkers. Okay, so with that being said, let's kind of recap this, just to kind of wind up this video of why this game is so hard to play. 1, skill level. It's absolutely insane in between each level. Take you hours, days, weeks, months to even get to in between, or to even jump up 1 rank. Number 2, settings. The amount of settings on this game for controllers is ridiculous. Camera settings, button settings. Learn what fits you best and try to adapt as best as possible as you move up the ranks. Number 3, MMR is absolutely ridiculously good on this game, and that's what makes it even frustrating, because it is so damn good at pairing you with the people and getting you to the next rank and really keeping you in check to make sure you're ready to push to the next labeled or the next ranking that you actually deserve it. Number 4, game sense. Game sense is very hard to learn without actually playing in that rank. So the more higher ranked games you can play, the better game sense you'll get, the better off you are. And then last but not least, but mechanics. If you want to get better at this game, mechanics is the way you have to get better at it. There's nothing you could do with just game sense, and there's nothing you could do with just mechanics, but mechanics are definitely something that you need to learn at a early stage, practice them consistently, master them, and then apply them with the game sense you're learning from the ranked matches in order to excel at this game. But with these 5 items, this is what makes this game so frustrating, but yet I love this game so much because it makes it fun, and it's hard to actually rank up and power through the levels, which is actually why I play this game. And I'm pushing to get champ this season. We'll see if I actually get it. With that being said, I appreciate you guys watching this video. If any of you guys out there play Rocket League, you know how frustrating it could be if you're playing ranked. Any kind of tips, tricks, or anything you might have, I would love you guys to comment them down below. I'm trying to get better at this game all the time. I'm a diamond, now diamond 1 player and 2s, diamond 2 player and 3s, but I'm trying to push for champ this season. Definitely going to be hitting it hard with training regimens, with things I'm doing. But if you guys can leave some comments down below, maybe some training packs, maybe some things that you guys are doing to get better, or how you practice in order to break through the next rank, I would love to hear it. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel so we can bring you more content like this. Video is going to be a little bit sporadic. The guy who edits my videos is kind of hurt right now, has a torn bicep, so we're going to try to put out a video every single week, if not maybe more. But while his injury is healing, we definitely got to keep pushing. So be sure to like the video, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Starters.